We learned a lesson. This is how you treat your fans.
We learned it.
I learned a lesson. Welcome to YouTube's favorite K-pop show,
DK News.
Danny Kim.
David Kim.
And today we have news for you.
As always.
First off, we have Taesong. His building facing some allegations that it's operating some illegal businesses.
Second, Cristiano Ronaldo is cancelled harder than us.
Third news is Produce 101 rigged ... And before we go on, yes, we have a special announcement at the very end of this video, so stick around until the end. First news! Taesong from Big Bang is kind of in big trouble maybe. He is facing allegations that this building he owns in Gangnam has 4 floors of businesses that are operating illegal things. So according to Korean media reports on July 25th, his building that's in Gangnam housed a few businesses that were mediating prostitution services, which is illegal.
Reportedly.
So according to the official registration of this building, floors 5 to 8 of Taesong's building were housing tenants that were registered as restaurants and photo studios. However, when Newsay staff visited the building, they found out that these floors were closed off and had no signs of them being restaurants or photo studios. An internal source gave a tip to Newsay saying that there were actually prostitution going on in these floors. Taesong's real estate representative said that Taesong is the building owner, but he is not in any way affiliated with the businesses that are happening inside the building. Thought that the businesses were operating as they said they were on these business registrations when he first bought the building. According to this representative, he said that they'll check on whether these illegal activities are actually happening. So they're basically saying they did not know. And by the way, Taesong bought this building in 2017. Well, turns out maybe they knew a little bit more than they actually claim they didn't know. An anonymous lawyer actually came out in an interview with Kookminilbo. It's a newspaper in Korea. According to the lawyer, Taesong actually came to his law firm before, like around 2017, to question and inquire about whether he would be liable if illegal activities were occurring in his building. They were specifically asking about operating, illegal adult entertainment bars, which are like, karaoke bars with girls and escorts and services like that. His representative said he didn't know anything about this, but according to this lawyer at least, maybe he did. And that's the current situation we are at right now. Taesong has come out with an apology and saying he did not know either. And
he's currently in the military too.
The Gangnam district, when the tenants are caught doing, illegal activities such as prostitution, and they're not kicked out by the landlord immediately, the landlord also gets penalized. So that also could affect, Taesong's legal situation here.
But I remember in his apology that if there's any illegal activity found, he will kick out these tenants.
Yes, and they did close down immediately actually. So I think he's kind of safe from that. Maybe another issue might be that these businesses were operating, according to these reports, as entertainment bars. But they were registered as restaurants and photo studios. So the entertainment bars, they have a higher tax rate, apparently, and that tax rate also applies to the building owner.
It's the same case as Seungri's. His club registered as a average restaurant.
So he could face some possible tax evasion cases. But all in all, I don't know if the calamity of this case is that big. At the end of the day, he wasn't the one that was doing this business. He was simply the landlord. One thing that I don't get is, Big Bang, Taesong, they're celebrities. This building is at like $30 million. And if he had that money to buy any building in Korea, why the hell would he buy a building that houses 4 floors of these prostitution services allegedly. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand why he would do that.
I think there are 2 scenarios. First of all, he really didn't know. Yeah. Second, he did know. The first scenario is, like, celebrities like Yuna or, those people that are known to, like, buy real estate in very rich areas. Like, this is Gangnam. So, obviously, these celebrities with a huge amount of money wouldn't really care what's in business right there because like they know that this place is gonna like increase in price over time no matter what. I think the mentality is like these celebrities just buy these buildings in chunks. They don't really care what businesses are in there because they're gonna thrive anyways because they're in a wonderful location. It has never been unsuccessful by the years. So like there is that kind of case, or there is a possibility like the anonymous lawyer, as he claims, like Taesung inquired about this shady activity or whatever. He might have not known that they're actually selling sex. He might have just like acknowledged the fact that there are women involved, but they don't like sell sex in the place. Like that's not illegal, right? There are like helpers. Or he might have actually knew. We don't know. But if he really knew, that's morally very bad. So
I'm gonna say this though, like he bought a $30 million building. Even if he's filthy rich, he's not like Bill Gates rich. He's Taesung rich. He's not gonna just spend $30 million. Oh, I'll just buy that building, whatever. He's not gonna do that, especially because I think he has a public persona. He has a public image. He's a celebrity.
Right, he should be extra careful.
He needs to be extra careful because you know that people are gonna just jump on him as soon as they get the chance. I just don't understand, like he's a celebrity that could have bought all these different buildings that's worth 30 million. Why did he have to choose the one with these alleged escort services and shit like that? I don't understand that, and I think that's a big
his choice might be kind of like questionable.
That's a dumb choice.
But still, at the same time, like Taesung and Big Bang members, like they're so rich, they're like out of the league. Like they might even not.
They're not Bill Gates rich though.
Next news. So world famous soccer player Cristiano Ronaldo.
Everybody knows him.
Everybody on the globe knows him. He's the most followed person on Instagram. Number one. Yes. So Cristiano Ronaldo got canceled hard as
he's bad.
Fuck
he's bad
by Korean public. He got canceled even harder than us. That's hard to top these days.
Yeah.
But yeah, what happened is last week we had a match between Juventus, Cristiano Ronaldo's team, and the Korean All-Star team.
Yes.
And 60,000 people showed up to the game. It was full.
It was actually right in front of
our office. Yeah, 60,000 people came. And obviously Cristiano Ronaldo was the main attraction because he's huge popular. I'm a
Ronaldo fan.
Yeah,
I was a Ronaldo fan.
I'm still a fan.
I was.
Even after this, I'm kind of like, but like talent-wise and soccer style-wise, I'm just his fan. Yes. So what happened is, first of all, there was a game. Juventus arrived very late at the airport due to like a
storm or something.
Storm, tsunami, and
okay.
Something was happening between China and Korea.
Yeah. So some shit was going on.
Yeah, it got delayed. They arrived late. There was traffic on the way because it was raining too. The kickoff started 1 hour late than prepared. So people were mad about that already. And Ronaldo canceled his fan meet because he was late and kind of tired. Anyways, people were very intrigued in this game. 60,000 people came and the ticket prices soared up to 400 USD.
The starting prices were expensive too. They were like over 100, I believe.
Yeah, and the reason to that was because the host of this whole game, called the Festa, advertised that Cristiano Ronaldo was going to appear 45 minutes at least in this whole game. Yeah, that was part of the contract. And from this game, the Festa earned 6 billion won from this event. The problem was Cristiano Ronaldo did not play for even a second. He was just on the bench. He did not even warm up. He was just sitting there, and people, every time he was shown on the screen, people were like yelling or maybe like cheering at the first, like Cristiano Ronaldo. But he was just like very like nonchalant. He was like indifferent, like
He didn't give a shit.
Yeah, he didn't give a shit, and then he just went home.
Yeah.
So fans obviously got furious.
Yes.
From an interview, one mom brought her whole kids and family, and she spent like
Oh
1,400
my
USD just for that game because their kids were super fans of Cristiano Ronaldo,
right,
but
right.
they didn't even get to see him play.
He
for a
ruined
second.
kids' dreams.
And that applies to 60,000 people. I bet like more than half of those people there were genuinely just there to see Cristiano Ronaldo.
Because Cristiano Ronaldo is now the second greatest player of this generation after Lionel Messi. But this is probably gonna be the last time Koreans will ever see him play on this land, right?
Lionel Messi, in the past, he was injured, but he actually appeared in a game for like 15 minutes.
But the funny thing was, at that time, he got so much shit. This was 9 years ago. Messi came to Korea, played 15 minutes. Oh, you fucking scammed us. All you're gonna do is like jog for 15 minutes. After this incident, people are saying, oh, of course, Messi is the god, you know, because he at least played 15 minutes. And he scored 2 goals. He scored 2 goals.
In 15 minutes. And anyways, what made it even worse is that Ronaldo and Juventus didn't apologize.
No.
And when Ronaldo actually arrived home, he posted an Instagram post of himself on a running machine and saying like he's happy to be home.
Yeah.
And what Juventus hinted was like, oh, Ronaldo has a bad condition with his like muscles in his leg, so like he might not be able to play. But like he's on a running machine.
Maybe
saying,
that's his rehab.
And then a news source actually digged on the contract. The contract actually did state that if Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't play, there will be a penalty. He was part of the deal, but according to the contract, the penalty was only to an amount of 700 million won, which is like nothing to Ronaldo.
Oh, right.
7억 won. So result-wise, consumers who are pissed have filed a lawsuit against Juventus and Ronaldo. And also the Korean Professional Soccer Organization has filed an official complaint to Juventus. So Juventus staff is known to come next week or sometime to give their official statement or apology about this whole happening. And right now, the Korean public is labeling Ronaldo as 날강두,
which
means scammer, robber. What do you call it? Thief.
Yeah, thief.
Yeah, basically means thief Ronaldo. What do you think about his actions?
I mean, he just concluded the Messi versus Ronaldo debate that's been going on the past decade in football. Like, I think in Korea at least, no question, it's Messi over Ronaldo. And it's very disappointing because I actually was considering going there myself, but the tickets sold out, thank God. At the end of the day, I don't know if it was that hard for Ronaldo to just maybe come to a fan sign or maybe at least fucking warm up. Get your ass out off the bench, you know what I mean? The reason why he said he couldn't come to the fan sign was he needed to make sure he was in the best condition for the game. And then he didn't do anything during the game. He was sitting there on the bench, like all like fucking like, I don't know what his facial expression was, but it didn't look good. And I think like the least he could have done was maybe go around the field, say hi to people or something like that after the game if you couldn't play the game. Yeah, it just sucked overall. And by the end of the game, people were yelling Messi and like just throwing curses at Ronaldo. It was pretty crazy. I think that's well deserved, honestly.
Yeah, I think it was a asshole move as well, as much as I respect him. To take the devil's advocate a little bit, like if I was like a $1 billion worth person, like, and every limb or every part of your body is like worth of gold, and you're in Korea, which is like a very small market. He was one day before he was at China, and he said he loves China.
Yeah, and it played 90 minutes 3 days ago. So I guess that's part of like what made him
and the planning was horrible. Like he arrived right before the game. Like what kind of host, like sponsor or host, does that to soccer players? They at least arrive like a day before. They have to warm up and stuff, but they just arrived, went on the bus. It was raining like hell. They went. If I was a professional player and I had like ego up my, like, you know, my head up my ass, I would like, oh, I'm gonna protest and, you know, like show like this is not how it's done.
But
you know,
fans have been waiting for you, Ronaldo.
Nevertheless, it's an asshole move to not go on the field and at least like
you were my hero.
Yeah, and not going to the fan meet and stuff.
Oh man, you suck, Ronaldo. Just putting it out there. You suck.
Another funny story before we go on to the next one is
it's a happy story.
There's a happy story, and actually she's getting benefit from Ronaldo's story, and this is Anne Marie. She was supposed to attend in a festival called Holiday Land Festival. I've never heard of that before.
Actually, our editor Sarah went to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Sarah actually went to Anne-Marie too.
Oh, really? So, like, the Holiday Land Festival was canceled due to heavy rain, and there were safety issues. So I understand it got canceled, but the fucked up thing is that the organizers of the festival announced that the artists wanted and requested the festival to be canceled.
Like her performance to be canceled.
Yeah, and that they voluntarily like signed on a contract or something. And then people were giving shit to all the artists.
Yeah.
And then Anne-Marie caught that and she tweeted on her Twitter saying that I never wanted to cancel it. I just had to sign because the festival wanted me to sign because there were safety issues. And then she said, I don't like the rumors that are going on that I voluntarily canceled my performance. So she held a private free concert at another venue called Paradise Hotel, which was 11 p.m. So not a lot of people could actually go there, but still she did it for free. And then she said like everyone's welcome to come. So a decent amount of people actually showed up and they did like the Korean daechang and stuff, and everyone they flew paper planes and stuff. They had a good time. And Anne-Marie, her behavior with Cristiano Ronaldo, it got so compared. Like she's like being held as a queen now. Like, oh, next time you come to Korea, you'll get VVIP treatment. Koreans have Chong. We'll never forget this. And Cristiano Ronaldo is like,
actually, there's a petition going on to execute Cristiano Ronaldo. Execute Cristiano Ronaldo and also ban him from entering our country. But yeah, exactly. So we learned a lesson. This is how you treat your fans.
We learned a lesson?
I learned a lesson. This
Next
is how
news?
you treat your fans.
Next news?
Next news. Produce X 101. Have you seen that show?
No.
I have not either. This is season 4 of Produce 101.
How much for K-pop YouTubers?
Well, it's format got stale, man. Yeah. Anyway, Produce X 101 is facing some heavy ass allegations that it's been rigged. On July 19th, they finalized a debut boy group called X1. That's like, you know, the IOI or the 101 for this season. These were confirmed through a combination of online and text message votes. However, when the final voting counts were revealed, there was some fishy ass stuff with the numbers. Due to a very, very lucky and unthinkable coincidence, the vote gaps between 5 of the contestants all came to 29,978 votes. That's very, very weird. That's very, very weird. So places 1, 2, the difference is 29,978 votes. 3 and 4, the same. 6 and 7, the same. 7 and 8, the same. 10 and 11, the same. Perhaps what's even more weird, and probably explaining why these gaps were the same, is that the vote counts for the top 20 contestants are all the multiples of 7,494.442.
Oh, wow. Who found that out?
Asian math. There you go.
So, for example, the first place, Kim Yo-wan, he received 1.33401 million votes, and that is 178 times 7,494.442. Okay, that's some heavy ass math shit. And the second place is named Kim Woo-seok, and he is 174 times 7,494.442.
Top 20 are all multiples of this number. It's kind of crazy. Mnet initially brushed it off when they were facing these allegations, when questions were initially raised, saying it's a coincidence. Like, how the fuck is that a coincidence?
Well, maybe a machine made a coincidence.
I don't know.
Or an algorithm.
Well, we have to be careful. We still want to go to KCON LA.
I said maybe.
On July 24th, a fan committee seeking legal action against Produce 101 for fraud and other charges, because technically they were charging 100 won, which is about 8 cents for each vote. So this could technically count as fraud if the manipulation is true. So a fan committee formed up, and they are trying to seek legal action. Mnet came to respond to this fan committee saying there were some errors in calculating and relaying the number of individual votes. However, the rankings remained unchanged. they set out like this entire statement, which I don't understand. Like,
Produce X 101 staff in charge of calculating the votes during the live show validated the rankings via multiple methods by recording the rankings based on vote counts and also calculating based on the percentage of each trainee's votes. In the process of validating rankings, the staff rounded the vote percentages up to 2 decimal places, and the vote counts that were converted from the vote percentages were relayed to the live show?
what the fuck does this mean? They're basically saying, okay, it's not our fault this one staff member miscalculated, which is kind of stupid because like this is a huge ass show.
Yeah, destiny of a trainee can be
destined.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like kids' lives are on the fucking line here, and you're saying, oh, just one person miscalculated it, and nobody bothered to check.
Yeah.
Like I'm just like this is nuts. The public obviously did not take this well, and then they said they will bring in a third party to investigate the voting case. Wow. I kind of feel bad for like the X1 kids. Like even if they did get in, like legitimately, like they will forever have that tagline of like, oh, these guys, you know how they received manipulated votes. I mean, it's not their fault. I don't think. Yeah. But they will still have that following them, so I just feel terrible for them. But that's it. That's the current situation. I just love how Mnet is like such a third party. like they're like,
oh, we had nothing to do with it.
Wait, what? We have a problem? Okay, let's bring in somebody.
And, someone did the miscalculations.
It's like it's not our fault. Yeah. I just love that.
I mean, I know it's very hard to reverse all of this as well because like they wouldn't be able to make another show or episode.
No.
I mean, they wouldn't be able to do the whole votes again. It wouldn't be fair for the people who are chosen as well. So they can't do anything really about this situation, but at least I guess the investigations are needed, and maybe if they can do something if the results are turned over, like if someone was in someone's place instead, that person should get compensated in some sort of way.
I think they'll make them join.
Yes, like that, or like do another season with an advantage or whatever. Like think of something in it. Like
and I gotta say, if these were indeed manipulated, maybe by a single person. This is like the dumbest way to manipulate.
I mean,
could you make it less obvious? Like seriously, like you could just come up with any random number up your ass, and you decide to make it multiples of a single number.
Obviously it was done by a machine. Obviously, allegedly.
Like it's the same with Sajage in my opinion. They use like multiple devices with an extremely advanced algorithm that can like get a loop between like the voting system verification, and they buy fake accounts and whatever.
That makes zero sense though.
So they would set a certain like code or whatever like to like put certain votes on into the voting process. So that's why the result was
shown like that, maybe.
Okay. I would really like to see how this pans out, though. Like, I would really like to see how they get out of this situation and make it right. Speaking of making things right, if you have been on the internet the past few days, you probably have seen comments like this and this, which I have made on a live stream premiere. I would like to apologize for such comments that I have made during the premiere live chat. These words came out at a time when me and my guest had been receiving numerous personal attacks, thus I lashed out an emotional response. I have learned that this is not a professional way to handle things, and thus I apologize for my immature actions. I am sorry. Now, regarding some of the comments that I have said on the podcast, I just wanted to use some time to clarify what I was meaning to say in the full context. One of the quotes from the podcast that was circulating on the internet was this. Well, I do really like BTS, but not because for them, but because for me. Like I want more BTS so that I can sustain my channel. Here is the full context in which I have said that quote. At the end of the day, I don't think that will ever happen. I kind of wish it would happen, because well, I do really like BTS, but not because for them, but because for me. Like I want more BTS so that I can sustain my channel. I'll be fucking honest here.
You're so honest.
I'll be fucking honest. BTS is the biggest group, and if they leave for 2 years, I don't know if K-pop can sustain its level of popularity. This was a comment that I made in jest, but I understand that it was not taken that way. I was implying that BTS had been a driving force in the breakthrough of K-pop in Western markets, which in all honesty has helped us create and evolve this channel. So in a sense, yes, it is a true honest concern on my end what will happen to K-pop after BTS goes to the military. I did not mean to imply that I am simply using BTS for views or money, but since I did come off as such, I will learn to use my words more carefully next time. There's also another quote from the podcast circulating saying that I said, people are exhausted from BTS. Here is the full context of that quote. I feel like there's a little bit of exhaustion from BTS. I feel like.
From like you think the members are exhausted or
No,
like media
the people. Media and no, people are exhausted from getting exposed to BTS. Too much exposure of BTS of late, I feel. Because I get a lot of comments on YouTube saying like, oh, like all these guys, all they talk about is BTS. I mean, because BTS has the most news, that's the truth. But it does feel like, you know, not a week goes by without some sort of BTS news. And if you look at like the you know, the news section for the entertainment section for the news in Korea, it's literally like just filled with BTS news, and I guess that's what sells. So that's what how it works. But I feel like there is some exhaustion from the consumer point of view. Like it's just all BTS, 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 and I do feel like we need some fresh faces in this industry. This comment came from my personal experience and observations rather than facts. I have stated that I feel like such things are happening. However, I understand that my wording should be clearer and I should not make claims based off of purely anecdotal evidence. I will work on that for the future. Also, regarding the comment, we need fresh faces. I was never implying that BTS should step down or that armies need to support other groups, like some of these commenters are claiming. It is purely my wish that other groups could also excel and succeed. For me, being someone that appreciates the K-pop industry as a whole, I felt it would be beneficial for K-pop and Korea. Nowhere did I mention that BTS needs to step down or that people need to support other groups or that BTS was too popular right now or that they're overrated. However, I do understand why some have interpreted my words in such a way, and again, I will be more careful with my word choices in the future.
So regarding Danny's unprofessional responses in the live chat, I too apologize as one of the channel owners and would like to let you know that I will take responsibility and make such behavior not reoccur on our channel in the future. And about Danny's controversial comments, I would like to state that I respectfully disagreed even before the podcast. And as an ARMY myself, even if Danny said, I feel like people are exhausted, it felt kind of off to me, and I wondered who these people are and if they exist. Like, he should have presented more validated proof or reasoning to his opinion other than a minority of YouTube comments. But in my opinion, many people, including myself, are not experiencing media exhaustion and feel actually proud about seeing BTS articles flooding the news. And BTS has came to this level with many hardships, and I just think that they deserve all the spotlight they can at this time without any hindrances. And as an ARMY myself, I am not generating content to gain clout or any views, but to sincerely promote BTS to potential fans and other K-pop fans that might be of interest and translate their messages better to the international audience. About the previous apology video I made, it was deleted due to certain circumstances with valid reasons, which does not involve Danny in any way, nor because of the backlash I received about certain comments I made within the video. Regarding the comments I said during the apology, nevertheless, we cannot omit the fact that some part of the huge groups, huge boy bands or girl groups, some part of their popularity was benefited from BTS, the BTS phenomenon. They opened the gates to TV shows in America and concerts and touring. People will admit, even the groups out there, the K-pop idols themselves will admit that BTS had a beneficial effect on their own popularity as well. And that should be credited. That should be rightfully credited. Well, we call it in economics like the trickle-down effect.
I am not saying it's all because of BTS. Don't misunderstand me. I have no doubt that even without BTS, all these other groups would have been successful. They are extremely talented. They are highly refined. They have amazing songs. I love all of these other groups. K-pop, as a Korean myself, I feel patriotic. I love all of these groups. Let's just assume BTS was not in this era. These groups still would have made it this big. But I just have to say, let's give BTS a little bit of credit of introducing more people to them. And they all grew together. So that's what I believe.
First, to be clear, as I already mentioned clearly in the apology, with no doubt, other groups, K-pop and Korea as a whole, have benefited immensely due to BTS. The comment I said was a simple hypothetical statement said in the respect of other groups for the same amount or value of effort they put into their livelihoods as well. It was not to discredit BTS in any way. And the statement, give BTS a little bit of credit, was simply a manner of speaking to non-armies who might deny the fact that BTS has enabled more introduction to other groups. The word little was not used in a matter of size or portion. It was used in a matter of encouragement. Also, to be clear, I did not ask nor expect any armies to give respect to other groups. It was simply my own statement. And lastly, about the comment section being disabled, this was decided because basically in the comments, such things like, what happened? Oh, Danny said this, that. Really? I'm disappointed. Unsubscribe. Yeah, don't watch the video. It'll get them views. And then it's basically the same cycle. What happened? Blah, blah, blah. What happened? Blah, blah, blah. Unsubscribe. So that was happening in the comment section. We left it open for a fair amount of time to take the criticism and read your opinions. But eventually it lost its functionality and just became a hate circle and manual to unsubscribe before even watching the whole video. So we decided that disabling it, allowing people to determine whether to unsubscribe or not after watching the video by themselves and forming their own opinions was needed. Last but not least, we want to say thank you to the subscribers that have been supportive to us during this whole situation, and we would like to let you know that our channel will continue to upload regular content. Thank you, and we are very sorry. We are still very passionate about helping to bridge the gap between international fans and Korean culture or content, and we will continue to do so by moving forward and being a more professional DKDK.